Shall we color while we yap, chat room? I think we shall. Oh, I still owe you your quote. Well, that's fine, because now you can see it, I guess. Sometimes your joy is the source of your smile, but sometimes your smile can be the source of your joy. Cute. And then I just put them in this little display. Whatever one we pull out goes to the front. And he's my display until someone redeems it again. Tee. Yeah, I got into a big coloring mood yesterday, so I figured we could start off with some coloring. I've been trying to, like, not do too much villager hunting each stream, even though I love villager hunting because my hands were so cranky last week. So, and I've also just been in a super crafty mood, so hopefully that's chill with y'all. Flap has no spoons today. He's running on low and he decided he's not happy, Flap, today. He's broken, Flap. Oh, GB, you're so funny. You're so funny. No brain cell for the Flap. I am a little nervous that we might lose our flaps and have to start over, but I'm pretending that that's not the case right now in the back of my head. Oh yeah, I didn't do my gender or my brain cell today. The fox in the Raven scholar. Avocado toast. I feel like that should be Toasty's gender. Ask Big, he's the holder of all the brain cells. Big has been eeping. So, I don't know. He doesn't seem very brain celly today. He was super orange this morning. Playing with a toy in a box, and now he's eeping. So, oh, is he up for lunch now? Fair enough. That's the way it goes, Cade. Not allowed to stand up, move your feet, lose your seat if you live in a house with cats. I have a habit of accidentally not eating anything for long periods of time, and that causes my stomach to hurt. I need to go move to get food, and this is everlasting effect. Oh, that's a super common neurodivergent struggle, ADHD girl. So just wanting you to know that you're not alone in that struggle. But you know, doing your best to feel your body is all you can do. Lots of love to you. My morning was consumed by hockey, so I really need to start my day still, and coloring is the perfect vibe. Good, I'm glad. This makes me happy. Oh, I'm sorry about your tooth pain, Gibi. GB. Is it Gibi or GB? I don't know if it matters. I feel like it's GB. You tell me. This is the GIF thing all over again. But tooth pain is the worst, TM. The luxury, not the luxury bones, Dana. You're so funny. I'm gonna be so for real. I absolutely need a brain cell. I'm 3 weeks behind. I said brain cell, and then I said 3 because my brain just continued that way. Weeks behind my schoolwork because my flare-ups have been so bad lately. And I actually feel like I have more than no spoons today. Good, I'm glad that you have 0.75 of a spoon. I wish that you had more. Oh my goodness. What's my eep level today? I woke up sour crunchy today. Although I'm feeling a bit better after some icy hot. But, oh my gosh. I don't know what happened. I feel like I slept a good chunk of the night on my back. So I don't really understand how that could have caused it. But, like one side of my back, specifically like up the side of you, like where your ribs kind of are, was so tight when I woke up this morning. Just like absolutely like stiff. It feels a lot better now, but it was so stiff and sore. I was like, oh my gosh, what did I do? Or why. And it's just the way of the chronic illness, you know? You just wake up and something randomly hurts. I was on the computer a bit longer than normal. I did consider that as a possibility as to, and I did hyperfocus a bit, so maybe I wasn't. I've also noticed, and I still haven't been able to identify why, and I've been trying to work on it, but like, it's so second nature, it's hard for me to even notice it sometimes. But when I sit in my computer chair, I have a tendency to lean to the right side, like rest my body into the right side of my chair and my right, like, armrest. And you know what? I just did it and it hurt that part that was sore. So I bet that's why. I need to figure out why I do that so I can stop, but I don't even know that I'm doing it half the time until I've been doing it for a while. So it's kind of hard. No, they're even. The armrests are even. I just like sink in to be comfy, I guess. And then this discomfort hurts me. We're gonna be doing a Bobbie Goods page today, by the way. And it's a little salon page, which I think is cute. Are they even? Cuz on your old chair they were backwards. I'm never gonna live anything down while I live with you, am I? You're a punk. Okay. These are really big wood panels they put on the floor. I don't know if I like how big they are. Because I like adding my little wood texture to them, but I feel like they look... Let's see if we can... This might not turn out good, by the way. I'm just warning you in advance because I've been trying to be more experimental with my pieces that I'm working on. And that has been fun, but it means that they don't always turn out. Especially I've been trying to work on like patterns and stuff instead of just like doing the coloring page. So we'll see how this goes. Yes, to context Toasties heckle. When I lived in Chicago and I lived on my own at the time, I built my chair, which was a fight and a half itself. Toasty can tell you because I can't lift things very well, and the chair was very heavy, and it required lifting parts of the chair, and it recommended 2 people for the job, but I had me, myself, and I at the time. So I built it myself, and I accidentally put the chairs on backwards, and it was like that for longer than it should have been. Closer, but it needs to go up more. Over a year. Too long. Also, hi, Eris. Welcome in. I realize I always sit with my right foot tucked up. I just finally realized because it puts a bit of pressure on my foot and that helps the pain, I think. I'd love to get compression socks, but they simply will not fit this foot because no toes. Rip. I wonder if there's a way you could modify a compression sock, or if they have compression socks for like younger people that might be smaller that might stay on. Interesting. I've been more so tucking my left foot under, which I didn't really ever used to do, but I always get cold feet, even though the rest of my body's always hot and sweaty. I have osteoporosis, so my bones generally hate me. My teeth have basically said nope and are giving up Two of my molars are basically giant craters right now, and one of my teeth next to my canine has chipped completely in half because my toddler decided to headbutt me in her sleep. In the sleep is a crime. I am so sorry, friend. It's really hard when you have teeth issues. My dad has genetically really bad teeth. He's like, I don't know how old exactly, like late 50s maybe, or I would say. And he has only like 3 to 5 teeth left because he's had such struggles with his teeth. And the teeth that are left are also not in good condition. And I know it's been a really big difficulty for him, both pain wise and, um, just like societally, there's a lot of judgment when it comes to having bad teeth. There's a lot of assumptions that it's like something that you did somehow that caused you to have bad teeth, when really, like, a lot of tooth stuff can be genetic or like condition based, like you expressed. Like, I know we have a lot of EDSers here, and EDS can also fuck up your teeth a lot. Um, so I try to be gentle with myself about teeth stuff because I know my dad had bad teeth, and obviously you get your parents' genetics. So um, the chances that I also have not the best of teeth are decently high. My mom's aren't bad, so who knows whose teeth I get, but I get a lot of cavities. I think that's because I'm a sugary drink sipper. Um, but also probably genetics play a role in that too. Because there's a lot of people who are sugary drink sippers who have no problem, so just kind of depends. I'm trying to make the wood panels into smaller bits, but the truth is that coloring books sometimes kind of defy the logic of how things should make, like, they look correct, but then you go to like put lines in yourself and you're like, wait a minute, how did they do that? How did they do that? So it's going interestingly over here at the moment. That's pretty good. I read at one point that you're actually better off when it comes to your teeth specifically drinking sugary drinks fast than slow, which I was fascinated by. But I'm a sipper, what can I say? It's actually why I used to um never like do very well drinking my water either, because I would sip water every time I would think to drink some water. And I've learned that I have to like take a couple of drinks each time I drink water to really get through like a reasonable amount of water in a day. It's GB like the letters. Got you, got you. Noted, toasty that the cat bowl areas are clean. Me and my daughter's dad have really bad teeth, and even though we care for them really well, but I make sure to advocate for my daughter, and we'll make sure she goes through all the medical tests needed to get her diagnosed with things that she may genetically have through us. The only sugary drink I have is coffee, which is also bad for my teeth, but I literally cannot function without caffeine. And you shouldn't have to. Like, I understand that somebody was struggling with, their teeth, they want to do the best they can to take care of them, but you also deserve to be able to enjoy, some of life's simple pleasures like coffee. Of course, I opened the last marker I wanted very last. Um, it's interesting that you say that, GB, because Toasty and I were talking about this yesterday with the pit. This is like a tiny spoiler, but not a big one at all. But basically, there was this family, and their son was brought in because he was having a mental health crisis. And so the psychiatrist, of course, then asked them, do you have any family history of mental health struggles? And so they answered about the dad's brother. And the daughter was in there with them, and she had not been told about that. She had been told like a different story as to why the uncle had passed away. And it was just so interesting to me and Toasty because we were like, I don't know, I don't understand the compulsion of parents to not share medical information with their kids when genetically their kids are then predisposed to be affected by those genetic conditions. I feel like they deserve to know that. And as someone who is disabled, and my family didn't hide any medical stuff from me, but we were really unknowledgeable about our medical history. And that in and of itself was hard. That, like, Toasty and I were like, we will absolutely be advocating for any kids we have, if they have my genetics, to, get the help that they need and to know, what is normal and what is not normal and like that kind of stuff. I like can't fathom lying to my kid about their own health history. I think that's kind of wild. I mean, I know there's a stigma around mental health, and that was the specific example, so that could be part of it, but like the amount of times, I mean, there's definitely scenarios where parents have conditions. Let's think like autism, for example, where the parents are like, "Well, I didn't have autism," but you look at everything about them and you're like, "Sure." Sure, Steve, sure. And so it's just basically a situation where it's like so normal to them that they don't recognize it. But there's also situations where like a, a kid struggles for a bunch of years with pain and this and that, and they're going to the doctors, and then they go to their parents and they're telling them what's going on, and their parents are like, oh yeah, like I got diagnosed with that when I was like 17, but like we just never did anything about it. I didn't know it was a big deal, so like I didn't tell you. Do you know how many steps I could have skipped? Yeah, that's true, Toasty, especially with mental health. Oh, that you said that too, same brain cell. um but it also happens in not those circumstances more than it I would expect. Rain, thank you for the 3 stream streak, my friend. I have a bunch of genetic conditions, and a lot of them we didn't know about. My mom really thought EDS symptoms were normal. Yeah, that's, I mean, I'm going so slow on this coloring page because I'm yapping, but it's fine. I had a interesting point yesterday where I was reading a Reddit forum where somebody was like, okay, it was like an EDS person, and they were like, I need um, some able bodied people to chime in, or people who maybe were able bodied and then now have a disability of some sort that affects their mobility. I need you to explain something to me because I think my perception is warped. They were like, do you really not find it uncomfortable standing for long periods of time? And The comments on that Reddit thread made my mind break. I swear. They were like, no, I can work like my 10-hour shift and then I would go work out and then I would go home and relax for the night and then I'd go work another 10-hour shift and like I was tired, but it didn't cause me any pain. And I was like, I literally looked at Toasty. I was like, that feels fake. That can't be real. That's like, what? And Toasty's like, yeah, I mean, I used to go to baseball games and get the cheaper standing tickets, and we would stand for 4 hours. And I was like, I have never in my entire life known what it's like to not find it that after 20 minutes of standing that a bunch of my bones started hurting. I'm pretty sure my bio dad has autism. I'm pretty sure he's the one who I got my autism from. Mine is more severe than his. If he has it, he also doesn't think I have it despite proof. Yeah, parents can be the worst TM about that kind of thing. But I'm sorry that that's something that you experience too, because it really shouldn't be that way. I'm trying to think, how would the lines, they'd be like this because of the angle. Like, I think like this. Hopefully I don't end up regretting this. I had a little table ledge to lean on and a footrest. I can't even stand 5 minutes without feeling faint and sweaty and needing to sway or stand weirdly, and I have no idea why. Doctors told me it's normal. No, definitely not normal. It sounds like POTS, but obviously I'm not a doctor, so grain of salt. No, 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 I'm not muted, sorry. Just thinking. Trying not to heck this up because you really can't go back from, big dark black lines you're making. It would be better if all the lines were more at a consistent angle, but I'm just a guy. So, Maybe actually, I need one. No, they'd be too close together, I think. Here. Once you pop, you don't stop. Please, Toasty. I'm dead. Everyone, doctors just assume everything is deconditioning, which is wild because I'm always trying to explain to them. I'm like, I literally started having these symptoms when I was in middle school, back in like middle school started it, and like it's like ever since then I have experienced like um these symptoms, and like yes, now I'm plus size and now I'm probably pretty deconditioned because of my chronic pain. Not my chronic pain is not caused by my deconditioning. I'm deconditioned because of my chronic pain. It's the chicken and the egg conversation, because when I was in high school, I was literally playing soccer, and when I was in college, I was walking all across campus, and I had pain with all of those things. But it's things like I could do it back then. I can't do it now. Not nearly as much. I've had an idea that I might have POTS for a while now. I also tracked my heart rate every time I simply just stood up for a few months, and it would skyrocket, but my parents told me I'm fine, and doctors told me it's normal. I just need to exercise, but I do. Yeah, doctors love to recommend exercise, and don't get me wrong, I think there's something valuable to movement specifically, whether that's like specifically exercise or not versus just good solid movement. That's a whole other thing, but um it's like, hey besties, do you know how many of us would really want to exercise but we can't? Like, do you understand that part? Cuz I don't really get the vibe that you do understand that part. We it's not like we're out here, you know, I'm not saying everybody wants to exercise, but a lot of us do. We just can't. And there are also chronic conditions that are legitimately proven to be worse when you exercise, and I feel like that's not considered at all either. Like, we've seen such an uptick in ME/CFS these days, and you are absolutely not supposed to push your body too far with ME/CFS. And yet doctors don't consider that. They think, they mind keep trying to give me a catch-all diagnosis of fibromyalgia, and don't get me wrong, fibromyalgia is a real thing. um in fact, I might even have it. I think I might even have it, but I don't think it's the main cause of all of my problems. And I'm afraid they're going to slap that on there and then not look at anything else. A lot of doctors don't really understand POTS. No, that's true. Or EDS, really. I saw a Reddit post this morning of someone who went um, to a cardiologist and was explaining all their symptoms and how several of their doctors recommended they come there for likely having POTS, and that person was so dismissive. They basically were just like, eat better, exercise, etc. And the person was like, do you understand that like with POTS, like it's very difficult for me to exercise, or and it's just such a bad doctor. I think maybe Rain. I'm more confident on just the concept of being hypermobile. I don't know for sure if I have Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, if that makes sense. My pelvic floor physical therapist and I agree that there's definitely some hypermobility going on. But none of my other doctors want to acknowledge it because I'm plus size, and I don't have like extreme flexibility, and that's what a lot of doctors think EDS or hypermobility is. And they don't know anything else about it. Oh, that same doctor tried to tell that person, by the way, that that EDS doesn't cause pain, which literally made me want to laugh out loud. Like, okay, tell me you don't know what you're talking about without telling me. There's a lot of preconceived notions about these conditions being like TikTok diagnoses and stuff. It's almost like, no, just people have access to more information now. So they are able to actually seek out the help that they need. Also, obviously, COVID and stuff is increasing the amount of patients dealing with these types of things. So I hate exercise, but I do 30 squats and 30 push ups a day, and I'm disabled. I'm definitely not exercising a ton, but I don't think that affects my ability to stand. No. I do just like simple mobility exercises to continue to try to keep my mobility because I spend a lot of time in bed and seated because that's when I have the least amount of pain. But obviously, I do want to be able to continue to move my body. So I do very simple shoulder, neck exercises, some leg ones, mostly on my yoga ball and in bed. But doing them consistently has been nice and helpful. Mm. So don't worry too much about the colors because the camera doesn't pick up the colors super well. I try to fix it a little bit, but it's definitely way more intense on the camera than it is IRL. I don't know why that happens, but it's okay. Yeah, I really like my yoga ball. I got it originally. I don't remember what my original inspiration was for it, but I really started consistently using it when I discovered that it helped my restless legs at night to do some bouncing and stretching over it before I go to bed. And I was kind of losing my marbles at one point this year with my restless legs. Um, it was getting to the point where I would say it was like causing a bit of insomnia. Like I was just not sleeping some nights until like 5 a.m. and that was just brutal. Um, and so I was like, whatever I have to do to deal with this, if I have to bounce a couple bits of time every night before bed to cope with this, I will because I need relief from it. And that's what worked. So still helps me because otherwise I get restless legs and um, muscle twitches. I still get some of the muscle twitches. I don't know. I think they're a side effect of my medication, but also now I'm less sure because I've also been dealing with like these shaky hands and stuff. So I'm like, I don't know what's going on with me. My pelvic floor physical therapist thinks that my shaky hands are from the hypermobility and because I use my hands a lot. Because with hypermobility, you're often using the wrong muscles to do things. And so she was testing my hands and she was originally going to give me some of those like ring finger splints that a lot of people with EDS will wear, but it wasn't fixing the problem. Like my hands would still shake even with those on. So she was like, "Wait a minute. I don't think those are going to fix your problem." So then she was testing like where she applied pressure and she applied pressure to these bigger knuckles and it made it stop. Like pressure with the bigger knuckle and then without it shakes. So like she's making a hand splint for like I think this area of my hand. which hopefully I can get on Tuesday because we have an appointment, but now it's supposed to blizzard, so um yeah, there's some medications. A lot of people will do extra electrolytes and hydration and salt to help as well. Hi, Freso. Thank you for the quiet hello. Yeah, I don't know. I think my doctor, my PCP was like, "Oh, you're fine. Don't worry about the hand shaking." And I was like, that feels odd to me." And then I was showing my pelvic floor physical therapist because we like to vent about how broken the medical system is together sometimes. And I showed her and I was just venting. I was just saying, like, "Oh, like, yeah, my doctor says this is like no big deal." And I'm like, but it does affect like my fine motor skills and my ability to like lift things safely and stuff like that. Um, so I don't know why she's not concerned. And my pelvic floor physical therapist, her little eyeballs went wide. She was like, that's not what?" So she immediately reached out to her hand specialist in her office, and we started working on it, which is so funny because that's not her job at all. She's literally supposed to be working on my pelvic floor, but she's like the only hypermobile competent doctor I have on my team. So the only one who even believes me that I think I'm hypermobile to begin with. So it's hard when that's the starting point with most doctors. My doctor did a half-ass Baton scale, not even done correctly, and was like, "Nah, you're not flexible, so you probably don't have." I was like, "Okay, wonderful, wonderful." Hi, E. Welcome in. How are you? How are you doing? Um, I could eat. We're not super far on our art, so it's like a little awkward timing wise, but it is 2 p.m., so probably should eat. I need to get my streams back to noon start time because one start time is too awkward with lunch. Oh no, because he's gonna jump on my desk and I have all kinds of markers and stuff up here. It's gonna be chaos in the studio if I open that for him. Okay, he shall suffer. Not the drama. The drama of it all. I'll be out in a little bit to eat lunch with you, so he'll be okay. What do I want for lunch? That's a great question. I think there's only one portion. Whoa. Why did that happen? Hold on a second. It's not Mix It Up, it's Twitch, but yes. Hi, Jex. Thank you for the daily click. Our Happy Flap is closed because it broke, unfortunately. I think perhaps there's only one sushi bake portion at the moment. So I don't think I'm going to be able to have that with you. And I already had. There should be two. You think so? Do I want sushi bake? I feel like the rice is going to be crusty after all this time. The manual flap. We gotta start putting the menu in the Discord again because I forget what we put in there. Um, maybe chicky sandwich from the freezer. Baked potatoes might be kind of hard because they take a while and it's already 2. I'm not like fully opposed, but oh, I could do smashed chicken. I forgot about that. Yeah, that'll work. TY chef. Chef a la toast. How are you doing today, E? Also toasty, thank you for the hydrate. I think you were doing it just to test the alert button. Regardless, I appreciate it. My hair was so poppin' yesterday. I've been loving your selfies you've been sharing. I'm like, yes. I like when my friends feel good and confident, as they should. Oh my god, Fig is yelling in the kitchen right now. Dramatique boy. He's been released into the bathroom. But hi, I'll be in and out. No worries, friend. Feel free to hop in and out however feels good, but welcome back. Sorry your mobile is being weird. I feel like Twitch mobile is so sketchy sometimes. I wish I, as a creator, could make it a better experience. But alas, it's in the hands of Twitch, and we all know how that tends to go. I wish they would make it a better experience. But they don't seem keen to. Because lately, on my mobile at least, I will literally have it glitch and like it will like go a couple seconds back in stream. Rad pointed this out one day, and everybody was like, "What are you talking about, Rad?" Because they were on desktop, so they weren't experiencing it. But I experienced it on mobile since then, so I know exactly what they mean. And I'm like, this is such a weird glitch. I don't know how they haven't fixed that yet. I don't even know how that like how that could be caused, honestly. Weird. Very busted. Hi, Celine. Welcome. How are you? Yesterday, when we were playing Cult of the Lamb, I feel like something happened with your character. I'm trying to remember, but I don't remember exactly what it was. Along with streams randomly pausing. Yeah. Why, whenever there's like an error that someone mentions, I'm like, are you on mobile? Not that I don't trust you, but I don't trust Twitch. And so I'm like, I need confirmation from someone else that this is a problem elsewhere, because unfortunately. Been really busy with uni, but I'm all right. How are you? I'm doing good. It's been like a really nice like media season for Toast and I. So outside of the cluster that we all deal with, that is the daily news of the world, especially if you're in the US right now. Um, on a personal level, I'm doing well. Grateful for my little famalam I got here with Toast and the kids and our calm, kind of peaceful life we've made for ourselves. My landlord to people, he's like such a liberal white man. He has Obama on his lock screen phone. Oh, yes, interesting. My lock screen phone is a very sapphic screenshot of um, Laura and Manon from Cat's Eye, which at the moment feels a little bit tragic. Because if y'all didn't hear, there's like a whole big hubbub with Manon apparently um, taking a hiatus. But then people are like, is she taking a hiatus? Are they kicking her out? What's going on? Oh boy. One second. My mom is like, uh, it's your dad's birthday, don't forget. Like, I know, Mom. It's just, I'm working. I'll call him this evening. Me and my dad are in such a weird place right now, so this conversation will be interesting. Yeah, I think like the K-pop world has like unfortunately affected this a lot because these companies have done similar things before where they put out like a hiatus notice and then it turns out that the girl's actually been removed and like Hype has done a lot of weird things with Manon, like excluding her from things and like some of it is because she's genuinely been sick, but some of it seems weird from like an outside perspective. And so I think people are very protective of Manon, but at the same time, like that sometimes creates more problems for her than it does help her. It's just a mess. Because the big like question that people have, the big like thing causing speculation is honestly more so Manon's post because she posted after, so her um Hyde posted a post saying she was taking a break for her mental and physical health and that they supported that and it was a hard decision, but it was the right decision and da 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 da. Um, and then Manon posted on her social media kind of contradicting what they said because she then immediately says, I'm healthy. Don't worry. And people are like, but didn't they just say it was for their physical health? Question mark. So then why would she then go and say she's healthy? Is she trying to like and it really could be that she was just trying to reassure fans that like it's not something super serious, so please don't like stress out about it. And then she said like some things are just not in our control. And people are like, that kind of sounds suspicious. Like, we understand that, like, it's all speculation at this point, but why did she say it like that? um, so who knows? I'm gonna try not to overthink it until we have more information, but it's just hard because she gets it like she gets super overprotective fans because of everything that happened with the documentary, and then she has like racist hateful trolls that she has to deal with too. So she really just like kind of can't catch a break, that girl. I fear. If I had a nickel for every time a Hive adjacent girl group had a controversy with the parent of a girl named Danielle, I would have 2 nickels, which is not a lot, but it's weird how it happened twice. Yeah, I guess I saw that somebody said Danielle's dad like got involved. They didn't specify what he said about like they were like, which is weird because you're grown, but I didn't actually see whatever it was that supposedly he had said. IDK if the post had actually been verified as him. Oh, interesting. Yeah, people do that. There was a fake, or what seems quite fake to me, um, letter going around that was supposedly from Hybe. Um, that was like a leaked document about Manon leaving, and I was like, y'all, I need you to BFFR. They wouldn't make that statement about her hiatus and then immediately leak a like, I, and it looked fake too. It just did nothing about it. Even came close to looking real. I was like, y'all, I really need you to have better deciphering media literacy skills. But you know, if we had those, then a lot of things would be different. Not just how we handle K-pop scandals. Um, Mandy, enjoy your time with the brain cell, my friend. By the way, what's everybody else doing with their Sunday right now, chat room? I'm just making a wood texture on the ground, by the way, if you're wondering what I'm doing. I feel like it doesn't necessarily show up like super well on camera. Suppose I could zoom this a little bit more, see if that makes it any better. I have the ability actually to zoom very far in, which I did not learn until recently. Me leaving K-pop in 2015 because one of my favorite girl groups kicked a member out in a very public and sad way, and then my favorite girl group having a girl decide to leave because she's being bullied. Me 10 years later, I could get into K-pop again. This is my own fault. Yeah, to be fair, all your friends were getting into it, so I understand why. It's just so sad to see, and like I've heard from other K-pop fans that this has happened many times, so I'm just new to the world of it, but it's sad to see these girls with such talent, but then kind of being mishandled by their like label, and it's like not their fault, but they can't do much about it because they're under contract, you know? Is all nothing. Girls have gone hiatus and come back in a totally normal way. Lunch is ready. Okay, 1 second. Ooh, yes, that's a great one. Eris. Moonstone Island is fun. Good pick. Some work for your thesis, cuddling your doggo. Nice. All right, chat room. Sorry that we didn't get super far into our page yet, but we're gonna take a little lunch break, so I will leave y'all with some words on stream. If there's not enough people or anything, don't let it stress you out. It's just for fun. But check in with yourself, see if you need to stretch, take your meds, hydrate, grab some food yourself, whatever might be needed for your body, and I'll be back in just a little bit. Burp. All right, hello gamers, I am back. Thank you for hanging. We can get back into our crafting, our coloring, I should say. Oh, wrong thing. I'm figuring it out. Bear with me. But nice work on the words. On stream, Shadow got first by 1 point, followed by Celine, and then Chaos Scrubbin, Cade, Clem, and Aaron, all on the board. GG's. Also, thank you to everyone who reposted the going live post. I appreciate y'all. It was close, yeah. It can be sometimes on quieter days when like we don't have as many people because they lock the thing where you can't like input words if you just did or whatever. And we were talking about this the other day, how like I wish that they would I wish that the game was smart enough to recognize how many people were participating and shorten the lock if there's not that many people, because they sometimes make it like literally impossible because you're stuck and you can't respond to put anything in. It's like, hey, why are you doing that for? Oh, I'm like, why am I understimulated? Oh, because I don't have any music on. Oh my god, Survivor Wednesday starts next week, and it's Survivor 50. So it's a returnee season even, which is gonna be so good. I'm nervous, but very excited at the same time. I'm rooting for Mother Genevieve. That's my top choice for winner. Well, Suri would be my top choice for winner, but I can't get myself to like hope for that too hard. So my realistic feels more possible winner pick is Genevieve. I would also love Aubrey, Emily, those are definitely some of my top girls that I like. Well, we do have to draft Toasty, that's true. Over a decade ago, not that. We do have to draft. It's going to be a tough draft. Oh, Christian, I would also enjoy Christian Hubicki winning. I like him too. I'm giving hints to Toasty as to my draft picks probably, but that's okay. The person I would least like to see win this season is Joe. 100%. Can't stand that man. I'm annoyed that I even have to deal with him again. Like him over Carolyn, be so for real. It feels like I get to transcend, yeah, because you get to like you get some time to use that hyper focus on something you really like a game rather than like always chores. Thank you for the follow, friend. Welcome in. Chores or work, I suppose. I should say. Heck work, let me game. Hi, Glenn. Welcome in. How are you? How's your Sunday going? We're coloring today, actually. We just finished the wood floors for this little picture of a little salon situation. Lurky, but today the work is laundry. We're doing laundry today too, so solidarity, my friend. Okay. I know I want to do this fluffy texture thing I learned. I think I want this to low-key be... what colors do we want to do here? Oh, thank you. Oh, it's not you, Clem. I don't know how because it's one of the only things I didn't touch when redoing my OBS this weekend. But he broke. I'm not sure what happened. So we will take a peek at him after stream and figure it out. But for the time being, he is unfortunately broken. Alright. Maybe he just needed a rest day. Somebody said he didn't have the brain cell today. I was like, real? I'm just hoping we're able to keep y'all's OG numbers, but I'm not sure, unfortunately. We'll have to see what comes of it. Yes, I've been in a big crafty mood as well, so I hope y'all don't mind the extra craft streams on Vibe. Whoa, that sentence didn't make any sense. You know what I was trying to say. It's a little more green than I want it to be. Oh, hydrate reminder. Very good. Got some fresh, cold um, water while I was on my break, so it's perfect. Normally, I have a little bit more of a plan than we have today, so fingers crossed that it turns out okay. We're definitely probably not going to be able to finish this whole thing today anyway, because I want to have some time to villager hunt. The way they draw the duck's legs really sent me. For some reason, I mean it's more accurate to a duck, so I get it, but they draw the duck legs super skinny. But then like they still keep the same size boot on them. So you look at it and you're like, there's literally no way that boot would not fall off. But it's okay. It doesn't need to be realistic. See, here's the thing I struggle with, and maybe other people who color can understand this more. But like, I'm trying to get better at patterns, and I like see these tutorials online for different patterns, and I like to follow them, but they're harder to follow when it comes to anything that's not like a lot of the tutorials are these like they're just like a plain square they do the pattern in. I'm like, yeah, on a flat surface that's like super easy. But what about like shaping that pattern around something that's like not perfectly straight on, if you get what I mean? So that's been an interesting aspect of all of it. Like we're freeballing our plaid here a little bit that I'm about to do because um we have to like go with the flow of this uh apron. Free balling. You're funny, Toast. I don't think that looks bad though. I think that's cute. Enjoy your lurk, Kate. Thank you for hanging with us. I hope your studying goes well. Cute. My OG plan for this pillow is going to be red, but then I'm like, will the fluff technique I want to do look weird on a red pillow? I feel like it'll look better on a lighter color, so maybe we do like a yellow. Yeah, let's do Y3. Maybe we can put pops of red somewhere else. One thing I always try to do is if you're going to introduce a color to your page, I always try to make sure there's at least, if not more, 2 places you can use that color so that it doesn't look like out of place. And the little duck will be yellow too, so that'll be nice as well to pull in some yellow. Me and my ice pack have beef today. Alright, now beef fluff. I learned this yesterday. It looks kind of weird on camera, but I think it looks good in person. I think the blanket was a little better for it, but it's fun. So it's fine. She looks like a little anemone. Hi, cat lover. Welcome in. Is this supposed to be a little fluffy pillow? Hi. How are you? Yep. I stuck my hand in the wet paint on accident. Whoopsie. It happens. At least I didn't smudge it a bunch. Yeah, babe, next week's gonna be so exciting. We have 3 hours of TV to watch on Wednesday and Thursday. So much social strategy. I don't think we'll get into I don't think Toasty and I can handle a third one. Maybe AU later after it airs. Because we're following the pit right now too. On top of it all. Oh, thank you, Clem. I think the fluff looks a little better on the rug than it did on the pillow, but I like both overall. Water puppies at a deep sea salon is so cute. The heck? Do I want to be as bold as to go for red chairs? Or do I want something else to be? The pot holder plant pot could be cute. But that won't be enough. You can always start there. No, I got a little bit of red on the wood. R.I.P. I hate when that happens. I am also a bit of a perfectionist, so I really try to avoid it, but it's not always possible. Do a little red heart on her back. I can make her bow red. At least this part. Maybe I'll see if I want the center to be anything different. No, I'll do the whole thing. It broke. We're gonna have to figure out after stream what happened, but also hi, Em. Out of left field, but I'm in the mood for a retro game. Do you have any recommendations? Ooh, Toasty, if they're listening, might. I don't play a lot of retro games, unfortunately. My favorite really old game is what is it called? Iggy's Wrecking Ball, but that's like N64, and I don't know if you can get access to that. Little deep sea puppies dripped a little on the floor. You're cute. I love I appreciate the theory. We're gonna need a little bit more red. Let's say their hair care line that they stock because they all these bottles have this same little line on it that it has a red label. Well, if you can get access to that one, I found it quite fun. But it was also from when I was a kid, so I've heard they're remastering Tomb Raider, which was another one I liked to play when I was younger. What the heck color do I want to do these chairs, chat room? We're gonna have green coming from the plants. So maybe a green. A lot of my greens are kind of dried out though. So let's see what we can make happen. Oh, sorry, I didn't realize y'all were a little out of frame. I see what kind of green. We can also change our mind to something else. Pink could be cute to mix in here too, actually. I've been enjoying red and pink together lately. Would that color be too much? I don't know. Yeah, I was thinking maybe there's also this really pretty, like, kind of violety color. I feel like it's hard, like, in the lighting for y'all to see that I'm, like, kind of like that, but I'm like, is that too out there from the other colors we're using? Could do just like a darker blue, more blue, if we really wanted to embrace the blue. You were thinking purple as well? Okay, maybe we're brave then. And give it a try. If you regret it, it's a coloring page. It's not that deep. you know? Am I saying that partially to convince myself because of my perfectionism? Maybe. But that's besides the point. I'm glad y'all like it. Oh, good daily click reminder if anyone hasn't done their daily click yet today. Easy thing that we can do every single day for the folks over in Palestine. And the link is in the chat right now. How's your Sunday going, Em? And then we're gonna do this little technique I learned with my blender that adds like a tiny bit of texture to things that are fabric. I don't know if it's gonna show up for all of you or not on camera, but woke up, did some weather prep. Oh yeah, real. Dishes, kitchen reset. Oh, that's a lot. 8, fell back asleep. Listen, weather prep, dishes, and kitchen reset is a lot. You deserved to fall back asleep. Charcuterie lunch, and then maybe work on my gem painting. Oh, that sounds like a really nice Sunday. I'm good. We had a really nice day yesterday. We got some groceries this morning, also because we needed them, but also part of weather prep. And then I colored a little bit yesterday, hence the inspo for some more coloring today. Reset my OBS for stream, which is just the software that I use, which took a little bit of extra energy, but it was good. I hadn't done it since I literally started streaming in 2020. So when things started acting a little funky in the system, I was like, it's probably time. I wanted to do it before I was forced to do it, if that makes sense. Because I had a feeling that eventually the tech was just going to be like, I'm not going to work anymore. So I wanted to be proactive. Toasty helped me with that, which was nice. And I got to play a really cute, cozy demo that I got early access to yesterday that I'm like so excited for that game to come out. I need to check again when it comes out. I think it's 2026 at least, so hopefully I won't have to wait too long. And then tonight, Toasty and I will be watching the classic. What's your gem painting of? Nice. Gotta get the bread and milk. Yeah. We'll be watching the classic, which is a elite gymnastics competition. Which we haven't been watching a lot of elite recently. We've been watching a lot of college gymnastics, so that'll be fun. What side do we want to do the shadow on? Probably this side, since I usually do the highlight on the other side. Oh, that's so real, cripples. I definitely cringe a little bit sometimes when I see their bodies move in certain ways because I'm like, the amount of hypermobility in gymnastics. Your bones. I got a lot of assignments done yesterday, so I'm trying to take it easier today. Later, I do have to work on deciding exactly when I want to quit that one socials job, but that's the main brain power thing left for today. Nice. It's pretty good for it's 3:20. I'll have to decide if I want to add a pattern to that plant pot or not. Like I box, and even getting punched seems preferable. There's a girl who is really, really, really thin in um college right now, and she also comes across as hypermobile. Like her knees are always aggressively hyperextended. And Toasty can vouch. I literally like close my eyes and like, oh, every time she does gymnastics, because I'm like, there's probably not a ton of like accuracy to it. I know it's probably like partially my own like, whatever that I need to work through, but every time she does gymnastics, I'm like, I just feel like she looks so fragile and like she's gonna break every time. I'm like, really is one wrong move. And oop, my bones have stopped. Yeah, they have a lot of practice, so that's definitely helpful. As someone who's watched quite a bit of gymnastics over the last couple of years, really the only injury I see time and time again that I wish that they would try to work on addressing because it's clearly a problem in women's gymnastics is Achilles injuries. I've seen so many Achilles injuries, and a bunch of Achilles injuries took out girls from the running of the Olympics last season and college girls too. I'm like, okay, so clearly something needs to be addressed as to why all these girls are hurting their Achilles. Like, what do we need to change about the rule book and the moves to protect their Achilles, or is there preventative exercises they need to be doing to strengthen their Achilles? Should they be wearing something? Like, something needs to be done. Yeah, the double layout's the most common way, but I've seen girls do it off a vault too. Yeah, it's rough, and then they always get carried off, and I'm like, oh, I'm so sorry, girl. Connor McLean was out from her last meet because she smacked her forearm on the bar while she was doing her bar performance. Absolutely not. No, thank you. Oh no, cripples. One, I am very disabled. I tried to do soccer for like 1 year as a sport, and I injured myself so many times. But also, I've just never been like a very sporty person, to be honest. So, nor. Toasty did, though. Toasty used to be in gymnastics and dance when they were younger, actually. Scared of the high bar. Didn't vault. Didn't you have trouble with vault too, or no? Did I make that up in my head? Mental block. Did not want. I've never been sporty per se. But when I discovered boxing, I got really into the mentality and groups it can put you in. Oh, yeah, that's nice. I'm glad you found something that you were vibing with, honestly. I hate how the colors look nicer in person. I wish y'all could see what they look like in person. In middle school, we had a small part of gym using parallel bars and other things. I was just glad I could sit on the bars. So I did some figure skating classes in elementary school, but stopped at the level just before we had to start learning jumps, so about fifth grade. When I was really little, I did cheerleading. Um, but that's about it when it comes to like sports I did for any like comprehensive amount of time. Hmm. Two tap dance lessons before the foot said no. I think I was 8, real. I wish that I think a sport that I would have really enjoyed that probably would have been more doable for my body too that I kind of wish that I had found when I was younger was swimming. I'm not very good at it, but I imagine if I had started when I was younger, I probably would be better. Um, but I really enjoy being in the water, especially as someone with chronic pain. It is like the one place I feel more limitless when it comes to moving my body. Obviously, you can still swim for fun, but I never really got to find any sports that I liked, so I think. I also really enjoyed, it's not really a sport, but when I was in high school, I got involved in what do you call, like, step aerobics, where you do the little pat like dance things on the little steps. I really like those little videos. Or sometimes we do it in person at our uh I took classes with my grandma for a while that were for like old people. Honestly, they were the best classes ever for me. I was like, how do I convince them to let me be in the old people classes in the future? They only let me because my grandma was in there. I don't have that excuse anymore. Oh, thank you for the 3 stream streak. They're not Copics, they're called Ohuhu. Similar to Copics, but a little bit cheaper, honestly. Oh, real Aaron. I was a cheerleading manager for a bit there. Oh, yeah, I did that dance. No, I never did Pilates. Although I would love to find a Pilates class that's actually oriented towards disabled people, because a Pilates was like originally made for people who um, are disabled, but it's been like really commodified and shifted towards a very different dynamic. 99% EP, oh my goodness. RIP, bestie. It's not a 100. I mean, I guess in all technicality, that's true, but Clearly, I'm doing fantastic. Oh no, Celine. Writing a thesis is not for the weak. I tried doing one for honors when I was in college, and I was like, nope. I'll graduate without honors. Thank you. Thank you for all the perks and the nice classes. I'm gonna go now. Because ultimately, none of these jobs are gonna really care if I graduate with honors or not. At the time, I obviously thought I'd be working. I'm not even working, so it extra doesn't matter, but gotta gay, gotta go. I was so nervous to send that email. Like, I like highly remember the feeling in my bones when I typed up that email to be like, hey, like, I'm so sorry. Like, and the reason why is because that's something that a lot of people would do intentionally. They would join the honors program for all the benefits, but never want to do the thesis, so then they would leave. But that was like never my intention when I joined. I was just so overwhelmed my senior year, and specifically like the project I wanted to work on, we had a really hard time finding a mentor for it. And the mentor we did wind up finding, she and I did not click, and by the time that I realized that, like, it was kind of too late to change mentors, and I was just like, I can't do this anymore. But luckily it was Karen, and Karen was like, oh yeah, fair enough. Like, she did not care. She was basically just like, I mean, yeah, it's been not really working for a while, so like, I'm not surprised. Not a problem. And I was like, oh, wow, thank you. The reason that I liked taking the honors classes is because the honors teachers were allowed to teach literally anything that they wanted, which meant that they would teach things they were like super passionate about, and they'd be like really niche subjects. So it was just really like nice to enjoy someone like teaching something they felt like you could tell they genuinely enjoyed teaching. Um, and then we also had like an honors like study area, which was really nice as well. Just because a lot of the other main study areas could be quite busy sometimes. Um, and I loved my honors advisor. Thank God I had her. But other than that, that was really like those were like the main perks, I would say. see if I can still do this. It's harder in this like small space, but try to make it work. I think at our unis we have more freedom. Like right now, I'm doing an exercise on Blackfoot because they're really trying to get away from the Eurocentric bull in a lot of academics. Oh, well, that's good. I'm glad. Like one of my honors classes was um, like indigenous feminism, and I took one on the militarized citizenship of the US and like how much we normalize militarism here by like letting our kids play a lot of games with like guns and stuff really early on. Things like laser tag, and they like don't seem like a big deal, but it kind of like teaches kids that those things are okay. Those are my little soap bubbles. Soap bubbles. I like those. Those came out cute. Don't know what color do I want to do. I think I need like essentially a gold. Probably. Wire one and why not? Turned on my vacuum and then gasped and turned it off because I thought, oh no, that will be so loud for being chat. And I realized that y'all can't hear me. That's so sweet though that you thought about us. Oh, YR33. That's like taking coexisting to a whole new level. But that's what it feels like hanging out with you guys. Legitimately. I just feel like I'm vibing with y'all. We're like in a living room together somewhere. This is not low sensory. You're so fresh. Aww. Hello, Momo. We love you. Oh, I need to do a little leggy here. Leggy, leggy. Okay, we do still need a green for this tree. I think I like GY6. And then we need like a darker color that can go on top of that. Which is probably going to be one of my more dried out greens, but that's okay because we don't need it for much. Oh, actually, maybe GO50. Yeah. And then GY4. Oh, what is this green now? Oh, that's kind of nice. I grabbed like a couple greens at a random like day when we were like at a craft store, so some of them don't have swatches. So that's why I was like, oh, what is this? I'll probably use this because then it won't be as dead as some of my other greens. Plus, this is actually a really nice green. The alpaca has been selected to mate. Brittany, whose name should be Miley. They can have a daughter named Miley. Approved. I think this green looks really nice with this purple, actually. Hi, Ernesto. Yeah, sometimes I can cover it up later, which is really nice. With like little accents and stuff. Approved. How are you today, Ernesto? How's your Sunday going? Mm. It's the color scheme is coming together better than I expected considering my lack of planning. Sometimes when I don't plan it out, things get a little haywire, and I'm not saying there's not still time for that potential, but at least for now, things seem good. I don't know. The cabinets are my biggest, like, what should I do with this question mark? Honestly. They're just such a big chunk that whatever you decide, like, affects it a lot. They're very, like, I could go really neutral with them as to not, distract too much from what we've got going on already, or we could make them, like, quite vibrant since they do have kind of that almost retro-y vibe to the way they're designed. Like, this is, like, rounded, you know? I know. Oh my God, that's so funny you said that because I thought that too. But I'm like, I think I would have had to incorporate more orange elsewhere. We do have like this soft orange that we've mixed in that might be a possibility. Mm-mm. If the duck wasn't so close, I'm kind of like, I would also think about doing orange with yellow cabinets, but I feel like that'll be too much orange and yellow, like right next to each other. That's the only thing. Why 10? This is a more vibrant orange that maybe we can mix in some spots. I think it matches the color palette well. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. I don't know, the orange is still screaming to me, so maybe we just be brave. Feel like that's the only color that my brain is saying. Fingers crossed. I don't regret it, chat room. Oh, you're so sweet, friend. Thank you. Learning to slow down and just being really experimental has kind of been the biggest things for me. Because I used to be, and still am sometimes, but I'm working on it, like too afraid to try things in fear of, like, oh, well, I worked on this for a long time, and what if it messes it up? And it's like, it's gonna sometimes. It has sometimes for me too. It's just how the cookie crumbles, I fear, you know? But I would have never learned how to do some of these techniques like the fluffing and stuff like that if I didn't try it. Yeah, very retro. I agree. Hi, Fig. Welcome in. How are you? Now the difficult decision becomes What color do I do the doors? I could see light blue. I could see the green. I could see yellow. Happy Sunday. How are you today, love? Even light orange if we really wanted to. I could do a lighter green so that we have like a light green mixed in there too. That could be nice. Sleepy. That's surreal. Sleepy Sunday. Not as much lighter than the other green as I thought it was going to be, but that's okay. The difference is more subtle than I expected. No worries, friend. Have a good day. Do a little texturing on those green cabbages. Could. I don't know what exactly. I definitely want to add more texture to some things, but I don't know who gets what addition. Like something on the couch I feel like would be nice, but I don't know what. Or maybe the wallpaper. Wallpaper is a fun one to sometimes add to. I think I'm just going to add base color from here on out because after this we're villager hunting, so I'm just going to finish the base color and then I'll add texture later, maybe tomorrow on stream or tonight if I'm inspired. Think of something witty. You do not have to think of something witty, my love, but I appreciate the 45 stream streak. Holy guacamole fig. That's wild. $72. Holy guacamole toasty. On the stream schedule, you do indeed. You do get an advantage in that way, I will say. Um, and then I think we need to pull in this violet somehow, so I'm going to look for a color that looks like a lighter version of that. It's going to be really subtle, but I think grayish cherry R242 is going to be a really light color. Maybe I can find a retro pattern to add to this wallpaper later, or the couch, or both. Because the shaggy rug even gives retro. It wasn't my original. I had no plan going in, but I feel like it's kind of gone down that direction, which is unsurprising based off of who I am, because I love this style. Yeah, I think this wallpaper helps bring in the purple chairs a lot. The color balance on this page is really good, which can be a hard thing to manage. Thank you for the hydrate, Fig. Oh, I missed part of the cabinet. I want to bring in more of this dark blue, but I think that might have to wind up being part of the pattern making that I do at some point. So, noted to myself. All right, chat room. This is good. This is where we're going to stop for today.